Did you know that ignoring a narcissist doesn't actually weaken their control? What happens is it often intensifies it, kind of like a calm before the storm. And studies show that when a narcissist feels ignored, their stress hormones spike and their behavior becomes more erratic. But what does that mean for you? You finally stop responding. You thought, yes, I've done it. I'm literally have done it. I've got my strength back. You blocked their number, you've walked away in silence. But instead of peace, now you're questioning everything. Why does ignoring them feel so exhausting rather than freeing? Ignoring a narcissist actually really triggers them, their fear, irrelevance. But instead of disappearing, many of them retaliate, subtly or explosively. So what's really going on beneath the surface? Watch this video. So hello, my friends. I hope that you're all doing really well. So in this video today, I really wanted to look at specifically what happens when you ignore a narcissist. Yes, my friends, you have finally seen through this. You understand it. You're like, yes, I'm done. I'm completely done. Like, I'm blocked their number. I'm walked away. Like, I have had enough of this shenanigans. I know they're more than shenanigans. And you're like, I'm not doing this anymore, because you have finally seen that actually none of this gets you anywhere. And actually it is really hurtful. So in this video, I really wanted to look at those of you who, and I've had quite a few clients kind of talk about this, like, well, what do I do? You know, I've walked away, like they're the ones that have left me. And I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I've literally had enough. I don't want to do this anymore. And I understand how difficult this whole thing is. I get it. And then you hear from them. And that's the thing, my friends. That's exactly what I just wanted to look at, because I know it's really easy to just want to just message them back, you know, maybe call them and just go, leave me alone. I know that a lot of my clients have actually said, I've had 2 or 3 this month actually say, you know what? I actually want to meet them. I want to talk to them, and I want to meet them, and I want to tell them to just leave me alone. And whilst I kind of advise against it, because listen, at the end of the day, you're not going to get any closure. You're not going to get any understanding. That's not what happens here. But it is your journey, so I'm not going to stop you from doing what it is that you want to. But this is what I really wanted to kind of explore in this video, what's going on for them. Because I know for you, I know it's confusing, but I feel like once you understand what's going on for them and why they are behaving the way that they do, or shed some light on why they actually behave the way that they do, it might help you to make more informed decisions and choices that are kind of aligned to you. So that's ultimately what this is all about. This is all about empowering you. This is all about you understanding what really is going on. So let's get into the video. So I completely understand we often have challenges with walking away, because we think that, like, I know that the first thing is that it's so hard to even make that decision, because you love this person. You are hoping that they are not who you think they are, meaning that they're not narcissistic. And I think one of the biggest impacts is knowing that that person is narcissistic, because that is quite hurtful, and it's actually quite shocking, you know, being someone that's never come across this, never seen it, never heard about it, and then suddenly you become an actual expert because you read so much, you watch so many videos, and you listen to so many podcasts, you know, like trying to understand this whole dynamic. And indeed, this is what happens. You become an expert on it. So there is a challenge in trying to kind of understand what is the next thing that is going to happen, you know, after you leave. And you would think that it would be actually quite easy, meaning that they're going to go silent, they're going to let you go. And for a lot of us, you know what, this does actually happen. They do let us go, not in peace. Oh, no, no, no. This isn't going to be letting you go in peace, like, we're done, see you later, bye. No, no, no. You may not hear from them for a little while, but most of you are going to be hearing from them at some point, because it's not just the walking away, it's the aftermath of this. And I have got a whole new series that I did a whole playlist on the YouTube channel, the playlist. I will link it somewhere, but I will link it in, if not, then it will be in the description box. But I've got a whole section on the aftermath because I know that this is the hardest bit. This is the hardest bit. I know, my friends. So it's the aftermath of trying to maintain boundaries, trying to maintain control, trying to understand what on earth is going on here with this person, and the attempts of theirs to regain control over you. You see, when you go silent, you are breaking the pattern. So what in actual fact happens is that you become unpredictable. Now, the narcissist can maintain control over you, meaning that they know your next move. They know how you're going to behave, how you're going to interact, what you are going to do, how you are going to think, your identity. And so the silence is kind of like a discard, but in reverse, because you do it to them. And that's because you've had enough of, that's what we established, you've had enough. But what happens is that you become unpredictable to the narcissist. They can't predict your next move. And this is your greatest power move. And I talk about this a lot in the videos. But what happens is they can't predict your next move, your next behavior, because they have nothing to go on, because they don't know how you're thinking, because you have not behaved in the same behavioral patterns and in the same form of behavior as you have done before. You see, narcissists can work you out as they do right at the beginning. But when you become different, when you change up your behavior, they don't know what's going to happen next. And this is what makes them very uncertain, very unsure. And it's like what you say to them is like, I'm done being a character in your story. I'm done doing these games. I know who you are. And in a way, they know this. In a way, this is what they have tried to prevent for such a long time from happening. You to see exactly what is going on. You to see them for who they are. But for the narcissist, your silence isn't closure for them. They will retaliate. They will resurface. It's kind of like a power struggle. It's kind of like a game, because if you go silent, that means you have broken the spell. You have broken the pattern. Now, they're not going to be taking that lightly, meaning because that means you've got power over them. They're not going to be allowing this to happen. They're going to try and get their own back. So for them, resurfacing, for them trying to establish contact or getting in contact with you again, is all about them trying to manipulate this whole thing so that when you respond to them and then they respond to you and then you establish some sort of contact again, they're going to try and hurt you. They're going to try and reestablish control and to punish you for doing this. Yeah, they're not doing it because they suddenly realize that they love you and that they hope that they're going to change, that they are sorry that they are like this and they want to change, they want to make things better, they want to make this relationship work. That is not what is going to happen here. No, my friends, this is not what is going to happen. This is actually the conundrum. Normally, when exes get in contact, it's kind of like to say sorry or to kind of like speak about, your differences, whatever. But for a narcissist, this is about them regaining control and orchestrating your punishment. Because how dare you think that you can ignore them? How dare you think that you can take control of this situation? Your greatest power move, honestly, is to stay silent, is to keep staying silent, because there is nothing here. There's nothing here for you. And those of you that have got assets or children with the narcissist, I know that silence or walking away maybe isn't possible right now, but this is where you've got to minimize contact, minimize your energy, minimize the information that you give them about yourself, them asking you, hey, how are you? What are you up to? You just say, yeah, I'm good. You just give minimal amounts of communication, because the real struggle here is to contain all of this, to keep the boundaries. That's what is important here. And look, how many times have you gone back? How many times have you gone back? You've got back together, you've broken up. You got back together, you've broken up. Okay, and this has continued for how many months, how many years, my friends? And every time that, you break up and come back together, you think that this is going to be different this time. You think that what? By them going silent, or you going silent on them, suddenly they're going to have an epiphany? They're going to have this aha moment? No, that's not what happens. You have to see it for what it is. You have to understand, you have to get inside the narcissist's head and really see how they actually think, to really see actually what is going on and how they behave, how they think, how they actually live their lives. Because it isn't this fantasy of, oh, they're going to realize and they're going to love me again. No, they don't love. And they don't recognize it when it is put in front of their face either. This is where you have to become intelligent, smart, and see it for what it really is, because the narcissist is not going to change. And they are not going to start loving you in a different way, because that is not what happens here, my friends. No, you have to maintain boundaries, because the biggest trigger for a narcissist is to be ignored. The biggest trigger is for them to be irrelevant. So when you trigger the narcissist, they're going to get you back for this, because then there is no way that they want to feel like this. There is no way that they are going to want to feel this type of embarrassment and this way. So they will get you back for this, for sure. Ignoring a narcissist can be a turning point in your life. You will realize so many things because you will have that space in your mind to think. You're not going to have it polluted by the narcissist's words and them trying to convince you that things are another way when you know that they are not. They're not going to be gaslighting you because you're not giving them the space for them to infect you with their lies. This is where you will realize that you deserve better, that you deserve a different type of life, a different type of treatment, not one where this person is telling you complete and utter lies, completely trying to bury you in their madness. This is about you rising up and seeing this for what it is. And yes, it is going to be painful, but going through this pain, you will get clarity. You will see the truth, because that is what is going to save you here, is by seeing the truth. They're always going to say something hurtful. They're always going to try and get under your skin. They're always going to try and trigger you, because you know what? Your best interests is not what they care about. They care about themselves, and to see whether they can get something from you for nothing. So what are you looking for? Closure? Understanding? The truth? You're not going to get it from them. So walking away is going to be empowering for you. And having that space, that time, is also going to help you to grow in this situation. Now, if any of you are struggling with this and perhaps maybe you want to talk these ideas through, please know that I do offer one-to-one consultations. Please see the description box below, because we can help you to kind of like look at this, explore this, and move forward and empower you. Ignoring a narcissist leads to different outcomes. It will empower you, that's for sure. It will also test your boundaries. It will also upset you because they're going to say nasty things. It will also make you doubt yourself. But above all, the main thing here is that you realize the truth. The truth is there, right in front of you. And that is what is important here, is that you realize and see this for what it is. No more illusion, no more magic show. You see it for what it is. You have to take care of yourself, and you have to put yourself first every single time. Guys, I hope this video has helped. If you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Please share it to someone who you feel may need to hear this. And also, please, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing to the channel, because I'd love to have you here. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.